Well, thank you everybody for coming to the Pickleweed Advisory Committee this evening. It's April 3rd and the time is 7:07 p.m. This is always our biggest meeting of the year, and it's also exciting. I know a lot of you would rather be home right now, but it's very neat, I think, to see all the different programs and activities that are going on here in the community center and the Canal neighborhood. So I'd like to start with Becky, if you can conduct roll call, please. Oh, we can't hear you, or you?
Sorry about that.
Yep.
All right. Yaro Sabalas. Absent. Miguel Hau Gutierrez.
Absent. Absent.
Absent. Okay, thank you. Maidang Nugent.
Yumin present.
Okay, great. Thank you. Nancy Palacios.
Absent.
Darlin Ruiz.
Present.
Thank you. Kate Sprague.
Present.
Thank you. Rosa Vasquez.
Present.
Luis Youst.
Here.
And Andre Pasternak. All right, thank you.
Becky, for the record, both alternates will be voting right now.
Okay, great. Thanks, Steve.
Okay, so we'll move on to the agenda. Anybody have any amendments to the agenda?
No.
Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the minutes. Approval of regular meeting minutes of February 7th, 2024. Does any of the committee members have any questions regarding the minutes or comments?
No.
Anybody in the audience have any comments about the minutes? All right. Then I have a motion to accept the minutes in a second, please.
I'm moved to approve the regular meeting minutes of February 7th, 2024. Seconded.
So
All
Kate,
right.
and
I got
Luis,
the motion. Yeah, and who was the second?
please, Yost.
Luis. Great, thank you.
Oh, she can see me.
All right. All right, Maidang Nguyen.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
Thank you. Darlin Ruiz.
Yes.
Kate Sprague.
Yes.
Janet Tanchez.
She's not here.
Oh, she's absent. I missed that one. Rosa Vasquez.
Yes.
Okay, and Luis Youst.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion approved.
Thank you very much. Meeting open to the public. Is there anybody here this evening that would like to comment on a matter that is not on the agenda within this group's jurisdiction? Good. All right, so I'll close public comment and we'll go to matters before the committee. We've got two presentations this evening, and the first one is on sea level rise. So we've got Kate, who's the City of San Rafael's Climate Adaptation and Resilience Planner. If you'd like to.
Thank you. Yeah. Would you like me to sit?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. All right. I have my fast books, but I have a couple slides that I'll share, and I'll try and do the real quick version of it. But obviously, there's a lot to talk about. So if anyone does want to talk about it, you can find me after. And I'm just gonna, like I said, try and do the rush version of it. So we have a collaborative project that's working on sea level rise, and some of you have already about it, many folks. But the reason that we're working on sea level rise is because San Rafael is the most vulnerable community in the Bay Area, and by extension, California, one of the most vulnerable communities in California. So why is San Rafael so vulnerable? And in part, it's because the land is very low. Land is sinking, and also barriers. So if the areas with wetlands and humedales where the water usually. And the state was channels. For time, top of those wetlands, including this area. And then some of this area is also built right into the bay. Well, no, like it wasn't land, it was the bay. But it was reclaimed with material, sometimes with a lot of intentionality and really compacting that soil and thinking about how it would change over time, and sometimes with construction debris and other materials that were around. So this is a picture. Pickleweed Park is just off the street here, but the 400 canal would be around here. And you can see the way that it was built was by filling these wetlands, putting material on top of the mud and the marsh. So over time, that muddy soil and that marsh has sunk. So this is a spot behind Target. It's sunk about 2 feet since the 1970s. And it's expected to keep sinking another 2 to 4 feet in the coming years. So here in Tanner Falls, it's most vulnerable because not only is the water changing, at the same time, the land is changing as well. So those two things get added together and the changes is more pronounced here. And this is a map where we can see from satellites how it's changing, and some spots are changing more quickly. But the biggest thing is that a lot of this, of the community in light blue here, the land is lower than the bay during high tide. So it has a sort of bowl shape. The ground is lower than the bay. So everything that you see here in light blue, so this is Pickleweed Park where we are, it's called the canal, Brett Hart, parts of Gerson Park and Woodland are lower. They're several feet lower. So if you think about someone who's out paddleboarding in the canal, someone who's walking into Canal Alliance, the person who's walking into Canal Alliance is actually 4 feet lower than the person paddleboarding. And that's in comparison to a high tide. So why doesn't it flood if it's lower than the bay? And that's because we have this network of barriers that private property owners have made along the shoreline. So this is one by Smooth Carpet. These are some in front of the apartments. And you can see that over time, this place has added a little bit of a speed bump, added a little bit of extra concrete, and that is what's providing the protection for the whole area. Where you have these kind of impromptu barriers that aren't fully waterproof or aren't high enough, you can see that the salt water leaks in to the community. And so this is one spot where it's low on the shoreline, and the salt water can get in. But over time, as the land sinks and the water rises, there'll be more of these spots. So that's the bad news. We have this large area that's lower than the bay. The land is sinking and the sea is rising, but we have a project that's a collaborative with Canal Alliance. Thank you very much. And with the Multicultural Center Marin and Berkeley and others, where we're looking at this area that's vulnerable, and in particular the canal, to try and find what are the feasible ways to respond. So there have been many studies before, many studies looking at how vulnerable it is, making maps and showing this risk. And we'll do that as well. But what we want to do right now is find out what are the ways that we can respond and what will be the implications of those. And then it will be years into the future before construction starts. That's a long, those are big, there's a time component there. So this project that we're working on now isn't going to design or construct anything, but it's exploring those options. And we want everyone to be involved in helping to share their opinions and thoughts about what's the best way to move forward, because there really isn't a right way. So if you would like to, we have a survey that goes up and we have more information online, so folks can share their thoughts and stay in the loop. We really haven't started a lot of the public outreach, so there's lots to come over this next year. And this is the best link. We also have an event coming up that passes around. Our colleagues at the Multicultural Center Marin are organizing this event to talk about the history, like some of what I just shared, the community and of the landscape, so we can talk about like where we've been and then what is coming as well. So I'll pass this around. That's it. Is anything? Yeah.
Do any of the committee members have any questions?
Thanks. You know, so sea level rise, I understand that there were 10 areas within the Bay Area that were targeted as the most vulnerable to sea level rise. There's regional, obviously, regional organizations working on this together. So aren't you working with them too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple of things, I don't know if I can get in there share, but we have regional organizations, BCC, the Transportation Authority we're in.
Yeah.
We have the county working as well. And then there's a regional network of adaptation planners and others that are all kind of working. So we have a lot of planning that's happening at different scales. So we're trying to be as coordinated as possible. But yeah, San Rafael is one piece of a constellation of planning efforts.
Okay, great. That's great. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have one.
Yes.
I'm just wondering, like, when you talk about ways that you could respond, is it primarily addressing the shoreline? Is it primarily addressing current buildings and what would that look like? Is it primarily addressing removing water from underneath in different areas?
Yeah, well, if you think about the buildings that are out behind us right here, so right now those buildings are 2 or 3 feet lower than the high tide. So as you go into the future, that difference just grows. So yeah, so some of the options that we have would be to construct some barrier between the land and the water as that difference gets bigger. Another approach is to try and not construct a wall or levee or some barrier, but to try and actually be higher than the water, which would involve a lot of change. But at the end of the day, the land is lower than the bay. And so conceptually, we only have a couple options. We can get a lot of creativity in how to implement those and how to phase them to minimize the disruption. And also, of course, it's always up to the community. The community can decide, we want to wait, we want to go slowly, or we want to go quickly. It's not like there's no right answer as to how to respond. So this study will just be looking at the implication. What would it look like if we went down these roads? What would be the costs or the downsides and the good sides? To set the table for a conversation.
What do you think the community is responding to this?
We have done some with our partners at the Center Alliance and some focus groups. So I think that it's a little bit difficult to take in. So try and just go one step at a time. Yeah, like even for me, it's difficult to think about it all at once. Important to kind of think about what can we do right now and what needs to be set up to do in the future. But do you have any specific thoughts that are coming up for you?
I'm Corey, and Kate and I work together. 2 other things I'll mention is we have a steering committee of community members that are overseeing the project. And we have consultants that are coming in and doing a lot of the analysis of the assessment. And the steering committee will work with them to take the information and make it more understandable for the community so people can weigh in. And the next year, that's the goal is to have much more community engagement. And the steering committee is going to be leading that effort. So that's one piece. And the other is we're looking at whatever options we move forward with, what are some of the other things that need to be in place, like housing protection, for instance, or other types of things that need to be in place to make sure that whatever way we start to head down, we have everything else in place to make sure that people are protected. We don't just build things and then people have to move or people get impacted in ways that can't do their jobs or whatever. So there's going to be a lot more community.
Great.
And our colleagues at Canal Alliance are already helping us with that translation and trying to make things more, more relevant and, to this. I don't know if Omar wants to add anything about that or.
Thank you, Pete. I think what is important and what is different this time is we not just come into the community and say, hey, you're gonna be on the water. And good luck, right? We are trying to inform that because there's a reality. They will be on the water if we choose to do nothing. And I think what we are trying to figure out is what to do, what is that something that we can do effectively to prevent that, right, or to mitigate that. I think that is gonna be the conversation that we're gonna have.
Mm.
How about out in the audience here? Any questions for Kate while she's here?
What are the risks on earthquake? You know,
Yeah, so the, I'm not an expert on the risks of earthquakes, but some of the things I've heard from other colleagues is that, like all of our buildings in the Bay Area, when as time has gone forward, our building codes have gotten stricter and stricter. So one of the risks we have throughout all standard laws that some of our buildings are a little bit older. Or some of them other thing is that we don't really know. What is the projection? It's actually inaction. Yeah, so I think that we just share one more time now. But I think that one of the things that's important isn't really like a really check that. So this is just a plan that's lower than the tide right now. So for me, being a couple feet below high tide now without a strong protection feels too chancy for me. But for some people, it might not be too chancy. And I'm the middle ground because there's always some risk. You don't know if I fly airplanes, like there's no getting rid of risk totally. But this is without any sea level rise or any further subsidence. So I don't think the time is abundant because it's already in a situation today without climate change. And it's important to think about big projects like a levee improvement or gates across the canal or something along those lines. It can take, San Francisco has a big project for sea level rise, and they're planning that construction to start in the 2040s. So there is a long time for construction to start for big projects like that because of the permitting and CEQA and funding and all that stuff. So it's important to be realistic that large projects can take a long time to implement. So that's why I got to look for the things that can be done in the short term. But yeah, this is without any projection of change in the future, just the current situation.
Is that on the city's website?
It is, yeah. On the city's, on this website that I mentioned, we have a lot of these slides, but also a little story map and sorry, I'll stop sharing, but we have a little story map and also a video where you can see that.
In the English words.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for coming in tonight. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we're going to move on to item 3B, which is the canal garbage Q&A. At our February meeting, some of our committee members brought up questions and concerns about garbage and garbage cans throughout the canal community. And as he was coming already due to the previous presentation, Corey has been so kind to jump in and answer any questions that we might have. So
Hi, I'm Corey Bidoff. I'm the Sustainability Program Manager for the city. And I also oversee the contract for Marine Sanitary Service, who is our refuse, waste, and recycling hauler here in San Rafael. I also oversee the volunteer program, which has an anti-litter campaign. So we work with that a lot and have been overseeing an illegal dumping program that is a 5-year program of assessments, analysis, research, and pilot programs with the idea that after 5 years of pilots and research that we would have a suite of programs, a portfolio of several things that we would bring to the city council, which we'll be doing in August. And we've been doing presentations in the community. And so it overlaps all the garbage, litter, and dumping with a comprehensive plan to address it all for the long term. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you might ask.
About the plan that you have a plan about the garbage around the San Rafael. I'm concerned about when I walking by the beach, there's a lot of garbage and people just throw away everything on the side of the walking trail. And do you have any plan to solve the problem in that? With the garbage, is they dumping the garbage, and sometimes they dumping in the shopping cart. By walking, they dumping in the shopping cart. They just put a lot of garbage in there. So I don't know if you have any plan to make the people make aware of not putting the garbage, the trash around, and keep clean, and also in around the neighborhood. By the apartment where I live, they dumping on the garage. So I don't know if you have any plans.
So I will start by saying that every plan requires staff resources, right? It needs people to do it. And so that's part of the recommendations, is to have a dedicated single person to do this. The other thing is that any program has to understand that there are many sources and many reasons why trash or dumping is happening. And so you need, the comprehensive program includes community engagement, not just education, but also engaging to understand what are the things that are causing, and then to find ways to remove those causes or to provide support for people to do the right thing. The second is that people need to have access. They need to be able to have a way to get rid of their things easily and for low cost. And the third is there needs to be enforcement, right? For when people don't take those options, you still need to enforce. And so that comprehensive program that we're bringing forward has those three things involved. It's going to require some money for the city council to vote to do that. And so and the other piece is that even if they voted, it's not going to change overnight, right? It's going to take some years. And the shopping cart issue that I've seen lately is really related to unhoused folks, right? It's people that don't have a place to live. And so then it's much more complicated than just the garbage. On the other hand, it goes hand in hand because the city is developing a lot of new housing, right? It's going to take a few years for it to get in place, but like at the corner of Kern. So the more we can do that and support people to get off the street, the less we'll have in terms of garbage. So I don't know if that totally answers your question, but yes. And then one thing that any day now we're waiting, there are 30 new trash cans that have been ordered for the canal that are really nice trash cans that will reduce some of the litter and some of the overflow that we see and how people take the lids off and garbage. But these are much more contained, very nice. They cost a fair amount of money, but we have them on order and we're just waiting any day we're supposed to get them. So then new trash cans will go. One of the other pieces is that when you have old dumpy trash cans, it makes the neighborhood look old and dumpy. When you have nice new trash cans, it makes the neighborhood look a little better too.
I just thought that you have a plan to maybe enforce the people aware with the the hiking in the beach, because I'm walking almost every day. I see it's very, the offense when I see the.
Yes, it takes partnerships too, right? It takes more community involvement.
And some the trash bin is so full, and
Yes.
they just pushing, and
Yes.
also they put in the shopping cart.
Yeah.
It's so terrible.
That's true. That's true.
Are the 30 trash cans that you're talking about in addition to what's already here or
No,
replacing?
most of them will replace the old decrepit awful trash cans that are contributing to the problem because they're open to the elements and open to the crows and the seagulls and open to people coming by and stuffing their trash bags in or, things popping out. So they're much more enclosed. They have an opening that's like this, and it's harder for people to stuff them full of bags of trash, and harder for people to get inside them and pull trash out, and they reduce the amount of birds and things that can get in and pull things out as well.
So are they larger volume?
They're not larger. Well, some of them, they are larger volume. A lot of them, they're similar volume. And so it really depends, because right now we have at least 6 different types of trash cans in the town, some of which have really small inserts and some which have larger inserts. These trash cans are as large as the largest insert ones that we have. They just look a lot better, and they don't allow people to pull out the.
I think, I agree with everything that Member Nguyen has said. But also, if these will not allow people to put large bags of things in, I mean, we see already what happens. It gets left next to the trash can. So what's the plan to address
So the
that?
plan to address that is, and again, it takes staffing, right? It's just going to require the council to want to move forward with that. And community is always a piece of that. But so to have a coordinator, and what we've been doing is we've been doing assessments of all the apartment complexes in terms of minimum service level requirements and which ones are meeting that and which ones are not meeting that. And what typically is the case, but not always, is that somebody doesn't have room to put their trash in the dumpster or the trash at their apartment complex. And so they want to do the right thing and bring it out and put it in the trash can. That's not all of it, because we have people in cars that are doing it as well, right? And they have their own house. So again, we go back to many, layers of what's causing the problem. But some of the other recommendations are to increase trash service, to have Sunday trash service as well, but for public cans, which will help, right? Because right now they're not servicing on Sundays, but there's a lot of activity on the weekends and a lot of street vendors on the weekends, and so they get overflowing. So that should help. The other recommendation is they don't have pickup in businesses or apartment complexes on Sundays either. But some of them absolutely need them on Sundays. And then another piece is a smaller percentage of the complexes just don't have enough trash service. And so they're meeting our minimum, but they're having overages. And it's to tighten up our ordinances to require more trash service.
Okay, thank you.
I had a quick question. Are those trash cans that you guys are going to put are those similar to the ones you have in Central?
Yes, downtown. Yes, exactly.
And then as I know, a lot of the garbage cans that they had before, they were removed. Are you guys going to put more garbage cans?
It depends on where they are, but in some cases, yes. In some cases, the ones that were removed were because of the overflow and because people were sometimes trash cans attract trash and they attract dumping. And so there are some places where we remove them, they may not go back, but other places where we will put some in. For instance, in front of Enterprise Rental Car on Canal Street, across from 7-Eleven, they were full of rats. And we had to work with Enterprise. So Marin Sanitary would not pick them up anymore. It was a health and safety hazard. So they took them away. But you can't just take them away. You have to have a plan. So we worked with Enterprise. They cut their tree. They got better service for the rats on their property. That was part of the problem. Then we put in one of those new trash cans, which rats can still get in, but they're less likely to get in because it's harder for them to get in. And so that helped. They have one trash can. When these trash cans come in, we'll have 2 trash cans again. And any place where it's a transition, you're getting on the bus or you're transitioning to some other place, that's an important place usually to have a trash can. So there will be some locations that will get some. We also have a grant in right now to get some funding to bring some more trash cans and to bring more staff dedicated for 3 years to really work on the issue and build the coalitions and the outreach that's necessary to help with this as well.
Because I understood that some of the bus stops had trash cans on the road, and then there were many that I can know of that were removed. That's why
Yeah, you know what, Rosa, I would love to know too. We have a volunteer that mapped all the locations with the trash cans and ones that some of them they went away. But anybody that has information on a place where you think a trash can needs to go, because now, again, sometimes it may seem like it's a good location, but it may not be the best. But we'd like to get that information from the community where a trash can really should be. So please let Steve know.
Any other questions?
I have another one, actually. Oh, thanks. I think it's a group effort for things, but like one of the big things that we've talked about here is the alcohol bottles left all over along the water path, people drinking, along the water path and then leaving the alcohol bottles behind along the sides of our condo and apartment complexes where they're loitering and drinking in the sidewalks. There was one just left in the middle of the walkway, the pathway by the water a couple of weeks ago. When we walk our kids to the bus or walk our dogs, it's a really big problem. And so how can we work together to ask for that to change?
So 3 things I'll mention. One is it's challenging when there's no place for people to recreate. And so, it's a challenging situation. On the other hand, many community members complain all the time, especially about broken bottles or walking kids to school. And
Bottles
so,
with urine left behind in them because people are recreating without appropriate facilities.
And so, and then, we could put a lot of trash cans along the walkway, but are we going to be able to empty them? And then are people going to use it? So there's a lot to it. Creating a culture of we expect cleanliness is a long-term process, but that's something that needs to be a piece of it. That's part of what this grant is for. We don't know if we'll get the grant, but we've asked for a fair amount of money and worked with a lot of community members to put that grant together. Then the other is the enforcement piece. What is the appropriate level of enforcement? So one of our recommendations is that there is a community court where you can do community service hours. We have had a volunteer program where we've accepted community service, but right now, if you go to the court and you get community service, you can go to any nonprofit and volunteer. But what if we had the courts direct people, if you have a ticket for littering in San Rafael, that you do cleanup in San Rafael? It starts to be a circular thing where it's not so punitive, right, for people that can't afford it, but it's a direct connection. And so that's one of the recommendations as well. We've yet to work it out with the court system, but the community court, we've had some conversations.
I think the other thing that we've talked about also, though, is that, it is a challenge for some people to find a place to recreate. It keeps others of us in the community from recreating when we are, when we are walking and don't feel like it's necessarily safe because there are people in places where we can't see them, or there are people intoxicated, or there are broken bottles all around. So
we've heard that from most of as well. So we have definitely tried to balance it. We had that wonderful group, Mujeres Empoderadas, that was doing all this, and we tried to find some funding to keep them going. Anyway, I think there's opportunities like that, but we need somebody that is dedicated to it. We have businesses reaching out to us. We'll help. We need somebody to coordinate that,
Is there any opportunity to coordinate with the downtown streets team and have canal streets team with some of the people, with people who are interested in doing that kind of work here as well?
So the East San Rafael Working Group and some other businesses have chipped in is a canal on streets team. But as you might imagine, you need a few streets teams to get to all of it now. So there is a certain route that the streets team does right now.
Do you know what it is? I've never seen them. I live on Sonoma Street, so we drive all the time, so I'm just trying to.
It's like Harper, and I don't remember it. It's the woman that runs City Carpets is part of that group.
Okay.
They've been doing it for a few years, but their capacity is, a certain capacity, and you need a few more streets teams to do that. So it's absolutely something worth considering and seeing if there's more.
Will you coordinate with the landlord of the apartment or the apartment owner? So that
Yes.
they can have a plan to educate people renting in the apartment aware with like putting the trash around the building on the middles or on the streets or whatever they, it's just,
That's again a lot of coordination.
yeah.
I can't tell you how many apartment managers I've called, and it takes 10 phone calls before I get a call back. Right? And but yeah, that's essential and challenging.
And some of the apartment, they don't have categories for the trash. They don't have
Yes.
like the paper or the plastic. They just have only the one trash bin.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
we just engaged Shulamata from Soluna Outreach to do a pilot with us and zero waste marine, specifically in the canal. And we just presented at the Canal Community Resilience Council to do some focus groups, really understand what are the barriers, what are the challenges, how do we do better messaging, how do we create better systems so people can do the right thing. So anyway, we'll learn more from that. And then I spoke with Zero Waste Marine, and they're willing to put some more resources into that in the future as well, because they know they just are not succeeding right now.
Well, keep us posted, and if there's anything you can give to us that maybe we can, send out to the community through our neighborhood, please let us know.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Willing to come back too, and I will let you know about when we have more presentations on the other.
And then Andre had a question.
Andre.
Well, you answered the first question about education. The channel waste thing that everyone needs more about. But as far as the public systems, you're talking about trash. I'm curious, are there efforts to put multi-channel waste solutions in the public? More
They are
recycling bins, more composting.
Challenging. Public composting is on right now.
Yeah.
I bet.
Composting in apartment complexes is what I know right now. Any place that I know of that's trying to do composting in the public, talk about rats. Yes. And nobody knows what the public complex, right? And so the states have put this as hard and what's the word? It's a very challenging goal. One of their goals is to make sure that composting and recycling throughout the state is the same everywhere you go. Because right now it's different, because every waste hauler is different. And it's all a market. If your garbage company can sell recyclables, they're going to take the recyclables. If they can't sell the recyclables, or they can't sell them very much, then they can take them. And the systems out there are not very good for them. So it's public. We have a few places where there's public recycling. As a matter of fact, I just came from a cleanup up in Marydale Road. But there's some volunteers there, community. They're watching, they're paying attention, they're doing cleanups every day. And they asked for trash cans, and then they said, most of it's beer bottles. Can you give us some recycling containers? So we put in recycling containers. It's reduced it. It's still happening because basically beer drinkers are not necessarily when they've had a few beers going to be doing the right things. But it's helped a lot. And they're willing to be out there working to talk to all the apartments area and do some signage and do some police drive-bys, and people know there's eyes on them. Not that they have to enforce them. Eyes on them. They don't do it that way.
Any other questions from the audience? They're just anxious to talk about their items too.
Yeah, totally. And thank you very much. Anytime.
Corey, thanks
you.
for coming in. Thanks, Kate. Okay, we'll move on to item 4A, and that's the Marin YMCA for their summer camp proposal. Staff recommends that the Pickleweed Advisory Committee consider granting the YMCA fee reduction or waiver for use of the rooms necessary to conduct the summer camp program for canal children at the Albert J. Borough Community Center in Pickleweed Park, Monday through Friday, June 17th to July 26th, 2024, closed for the June 19th and July 4th holidays, with permission for staff to grant additional space on a day-to-day basis depending on availability. At the February 7th, 2024 regular meeting, the committee received an application and presentation from the YMCA requesting full scholarship of rental fees for their proposed YMCA summer camp program. The program, which is supported by San Rafael City Schools, plans to serve 70 school-identified children with a safe program that will provide academic, social, and emotional development, all free of charge to the participants. As the Pickleweed Advisory Committee has had time to review the co-sponsorship application, a recommendation is needed to grant fee reduction, fee waiver, or rejection of the request. Members must also consider the committee's annual total allocation of $144,200 in fees that can be waived. Should the advisory committee approve co-sponsorship, the recommendation should consider supporting staff's suggestion of granting rooms necessary to conduct the summer camp with permission for staff to provide additional space on a day-to-day basis, depending on availability. The nonprofit value of the full co-sponsorship totals $21,630, while still retaining space for other programs. A fee reduction or waiver would potentially result in the lost revenue to the city should a paying program be interested in renting the facility at that time. The YMCA has agreed to reimburse the city the facility attendant fee of $25 an hour for opening the center an hour early in the morning, totaling $700 for the summer. Does any of the committee members, and we've discussed it at our last meeting, did anybody have any additional questions after reviewing the application? Okay. And does anybody from the public have any comments? Great. If we can have a motion in a second regarding the application. Louise?
I move that we accept the application as is, summer YMCA camp.
Louise, you have a motion. Do we have a second? Rosa, seconds. Becky, can you take roll, please?
Yes, Mai Dung Nguyen,
Yes.
Darlene Ruiz,
Yes.
Kate Sprague,
Yes.
Rosa Vasquez.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, and Louise Youst.
Yes.
Thank you, motion approved.
Thank you, Becky. Congratulations, YMCA. And while you're here, if you want to move up for the next thing, we're going to go to section 5. It's a school year co-sponsorship application and final report presentation, and there's 8 of them here this evening. As is the case with all the applications we will be receiving this evening, the Pickleweed Advisory Committee has the authority to grant a fee reduction, a full fee waiver, reject the application and ask the applicant to resubmit with additional information, or reject the co-sponsorship application altogether. Members must also consider the committee's annual total allocation of $144,200 in fees that can be waived and attempt to support a diversity of the programs while meeting a wide variety of ages, interests, and needs in the community. The fee waiver potentially results in lost revenue to the city should a paying program be interested in renting the facilities at that time. The committee will make their recommendations on all of the following applications at their June 5th, 2024 regular meeting. And our first one this evening is the YMCA for the 2024-2025 after school program. It is recommended that the Pickleweed Advisory Committee grant the YMCA a fee reduction or waiver for use of rooms necessary to conduct the 2024-2025 after school program for canal children at the Albert J. Borough Community Center, Pickleweed Park, Monday through Friday, August 12th, 2024 through June 13th, 2025, excluding holiday closures, with permission for the city to grant additional space on a day-to-day basis, depending on availability. The Albert J. Borough Community Center in Pickleweed Park has hosted the YMCA Learning Hubs, summer camps, and after-school programs supported by the Santa Fe City School District since the pandemic to support Canal youth and their families. The program is free to all participants who are identified and referred to the YMCA by the student's school. The application requests use of many of the center's rooms and amenities. As has been past practice, in order to accommodate other offerings in the facility, it is recommended that the committee co-sponsor and provide the YMCA with 3 meeting rooms and the picnic area daily. Additional rooms can be granted on a daily basis, space available. The co-sponsorship value of $46,638 therefore reflects these base fees and not the extra fees that will be added during the period of use. While the Pickleweed Advisory Committee reviews the co-sponsorship application and final report, YMCA staff is present to provide a program overview and support their application, which is before the committee. The committee members will then have the opportunity to ask questions of the YMCA staff. And we have Bethel and Annie here to talk.
I'm gonna share my screen as well.
Okay.
To give some context. So we partner with Via Vista and Girls for our after school program. And we usually get, it really depends, but right now we're getting kind of like around the same amount of students from each school. But if somebody was to like drop out, we make sure that we're filling that spot. You know, we're using our 70 spots. That's something that we want to ensure that we're doing, like taking advantage of the space and making sure that we are getting kids in. With about 7 participants and 9 staff. Let's make sure we're moving a video. So the enrollment process as of right now has been done through the district and the principals who identified students. Not ready yet. Who identify the students and the liaisons as well, who let us know what that process, you know, the parents what the process is, and then once they get identified, we enroll the parents, make sure that we're, you know, welcoming them into the community and kind of making sure that that process that we do for any other after school is done for them as well, which is really important to me. For the Canal youth, we have the activities that any Y program has as well. So whether that's like STEAM activities, arts and crafts, sports. This year we have them at every program, but obviously this year we try to switch it up and make sure that enrichments are brought to all our programs, whether they're ELOP or not, or tuition based. That's kind of like the biggest thing that we always want to focus on. So I think there's a typical day, but I'll kind of get into a little bit about the enrichments and things that we're hoping to have as, you know, the year continues as well. The Alberto daily schedule kind of looks like, and we have it all kids from TK through just as well. I don't really mention that, but there's pickup, and San Pedro gets dropped off, snack, playground, homework, and table activities. And during pickup time, it's not a long period of time to do a lot with. And we also have requirements from the district that we need to meet with, and one of those things is academic time. So making sure that we're providing academic support during the period of the time. Another thing is making sure that we partner with the district as well for snack. So kind of a hot meal to make sure that the kids are, you know, getting their energy and, you know, making sure they're eating at the time that they're with us as well. So those are the 2 requirements which do have a time frame on them. So we don't get a lot of time to play or, you know, make sure that they are having fun, but we try to make the little time that we do have for that engaging for the kids. Some of the program outcomes, I don't want to fully read through it, but I kind of want to make sure that I'm like getting into like how it makes sense to our program. The enrichment and skill building is, you know, obviously providing that space for the kids. One of the things that I do really appreciate when I do come to visit, as this is my first year at Alboro for after school. I've helped out with summer, but never fully with after school, is that the kids feel really comfortable here. It's their space, and that makes me really happy that they feel kind of like this is a part of, you know, their space, their safe space that they come to after school time. So helping them
to have that safety and somewhere that they can thrive and ask for help, whether that's a problem at home or homework help, that they know that we are here for them. Community building, allowing the youth to build relationships with other people in the community, socio and emotional learning, work with the youth to build lifelong skills. Something I'm very excited that the Y has been doing recently is partnering with the mental health service team in San Francisco. That's been really important. So let's say that there is something going on with a student here, we're able to partner that student and the parents to give them access to the mental service team, and they can help them link to different, programs that they can get into, understanding that equity piece as well, and understanding the financial piece as well. The linkage has been helpful. Another thing is making sure that we have staff on site that are well trained, that understand what they're doing, that are in here for the right reason. So that's been amazing. Ani has been a constant person who's been at Alvaro that we appreciate so much, and some of the staff have also returned. So that lets us know that something is going right. If we're not seeing a lot of turnaround, our staff is coming for summer and they're coming back the next year, it's a good sign. Some of the programs that we have partnered up with as well, Serving at Hope during the after school year, actually, it's a tennis program that was based in Marin right now, that come and do one-on-one lessons. So we have little groups that they do tennis lessons. Access is really important, so that's something that they've continued to come. They were here last year and they were here this year, and we're really hoping to partner up with Catholic Charities this year as well for a food nutrition class, which was on the works right now. But something that we want to continue to do is like have different enrichments every year, and also some that do come back year to year. And that is all.
Any of the committee members have any questions?
So what kinds of healthy snacks do you serve these kiddos?
It's given to us through the school, so we make sure there's a hot meal, whether that's pizza, sometimes tamales, pupusas, a lot of Hispanic dishes. Some just like the examples of it, and then we also make sure to give us a fruit and a vegetable. So the vegetable and fruit are consistent every day.
Great.
Carrots for the kids, either apples or even oranges, it switches on and off.
Yeah.
And then give us a little fruit pouch juice that the kids really love as well. And then an extra snack, whether that's some cookies or sometimes chips, and then also milk. So at least, or every day, the kids need to grab at least 3 things. They give a variety of things, just not all the kids enjoy every particular thing, but we make sure that they grab at least 3 things. A lot of these kids are dependent on the food that we give them, so we make sure that either they can take some home. We also offer it to the community as well. So sometimes we don't finish the snack, we put it out and set it out, and with the different activities that they have going on here in the center, we make sure that the community is also fed if they want to take it. So we try our best to feed the kids as much as we can, and also, any families that walk in here. So I've done it, I've just started to recently outside in the park before we come in. I go out there and ask them if they would like it. A lot of them are really appreciative and take it. And so whatever's left over, we bring back in, and whoever's in here can take it. We just make sure they're fed.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Funding for that.
The schools, Santa Rosa City schools.
Yeah, the district gives us the funding, and it's based on like who attends our program essentially. So if it's going to be an EWOP program, is an extended learning opportunity program, they know that they fit within the criteria of free and reduced lunch, then they know that like that's going to be a program that the food and nutrition part of the district can say, yes, like we approve that we're going to fund you guys for free lunches, or if not lunches, but free snack, hot snack for after school program. So it's one of the only programs that we can do that. So we're happy to continue to do that at Burrow.
Yeah, I know a lot of the kids don't really have much to eat at home. So whether that's the food from school, I see sometimes that they save it and bring it over here. Yeah, in their backpack and take it home. So a lot of the kids are grateful for any hot meal that they may receive. Yeah.
Any other questions? Anybody in the audience have any questions? Good. Well, thank you for coming in. I know it's been a long day, all afternoon with the kids here, and so you're welcome to stay for the next presentations or go home and rest. All right. Thank you very much. And we'll go on to item B, and that's a Tamalpais Adult School English as a Second Language class. Tamalpais Adult School provides free English as a Second Language classes at the Albert J. Borough Community Center to support adults learning English to thrive in their community. The program targets local parents, especially those whose children attend nearby Bahia Vista School. The term of the proposed adult program is from September 9th, 2024 through May 28th, 2025, with breaks during the school holidays. Tamalpais Adult School is requesting a full fee waiver valued at $3,240 for use of meeting room on Mondays and Wednesdays from 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Per the co-sponsorship guidelines for renewal applications, the final report of the program's previous co-sponsored use is included with the application for the Pickleweed Advisory Committee to review. The activity fits well in the center's schedule and purpose is well received by the community participants. And we have Sue Hall and Cindy Winship here today to.
Yeah, so it's okay, we stay over here.
It is.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for inviting us tonight.
And she is our parent educator for the whole Tampa School program. And she can speak to it as a student and as an educator because she went through one of our programs as well. So I'm going to be fairly quick, but I just want to let you know that's what I'm sharing. So, okay. So just a quick snapshot of our program here. We serve about 500 students, and it's only about 200 at a time, but they do come and go throughout the year. We do accept students at all times of the year. We have all of our classes and our materials are free of charge, so the students don't have to pay at all. And we have locations, about 5 different schools and then site here throughout the community. And we've recently added one over in West Marin, which is great. And luckily we partner with schools mainly and Albert J. Borough, so we're allowed to use the facilities for free, which is great because everything else is costly, obviously, with staffing, and it's been nice to not have to also pay the facility fee. So we're WASC accredited. They just got a 6-year term last year, which was amazing, a lot of work, but they were able to get the full 6-year term. We get funded through a WIOA grant and the state funds that come to us, which they make up about $900,000 to $1 million every year to serve our folks. And then we have 17 teachers, amazing teachers. A lot of them are veteran teachers who come to us out of the goodness of their hearts, really, after a full day working with little guys. So we really appreciate our staff and our paraeducator, Lisa. We also offer some inline and in-person and online classes. And what they've found is that people really want to be there in person. So although we do offer online, and we'll build a class for any students who want online in our student surveys, but most people want to be in person, and that's the best way to learn the language. So we try to offer that as much as possible, as much as we can afford. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to these guys so they can share a little bit about these particular programs. Again, Cindy is the teacher here, and she can share about program, the ESL class here, and then Lisa will share as well.
So I've been teaching in this community for a while. I started as a teacher at teaching parents at Bahia Vista, and then we moved over to this site. The Bahia Vista program is still in existence, but it's in the evenings now, and I'm one of the only morning teachers. And I initially began my ESL journey with Canal Alliance teaching here years, like, I don't know, a long time ago. So I am here 2 days a week, and I have some students that have actually, it's a multi-level class, so it's a little more complicated than other classes because it's very mixed level. But I have some students that I've had for three years, and we make it work. And it's become a really important community piece for my students who mostly work in the afternoons or evenings. But we have young men, older women. It's age, pretty diverse in age. I like to think that they actually are learning, but we have a lot of fun in the meantime, and it's really, we've created an amazing learning community, and that is something that's really important.
Hello, everybody. My name is Luisa. I'm from Brazil, and I moved to USA 5 years ago. So I took this become a home care aide with Jessie, which is a ESL teacher. She speaks English and Spanish. And this class is mostly for ESL students. So I'm very glad that I took this class, and now I belong to the staff, so I can now I can help people to learn English and have this other opportunities other than like our regular jobs here, like restaurant, nanny, cleaner. And Marin County has a big need professional that take care of elderly people. So it's, I think, a good thing that our school provides for the community. And it's everything free, and we have amazing teachers. It's a nurse and a ESL teacher, 2 teachers for class, for the whole class. So they make sure everybody's tracking, following the instructions, and yeah, and very soon we're gonna have the medical office, MFO, medical front office class, and we are very excited, and this school is amazing. And that's it.
Yeah, that's one of the other programs that we're gonna be starting for next year is the front office medical assistant.
Everything free.
Yep, and we do cohorts. So we did that with a healthcare program, and we have 3 so far. We're hoping to do 5 and have at least 3 for the medical assistant programs next year. So I'm pretty excited about that. We have Jessie Morales, so I don't know if any of you know her, but she's
amazing.
Pretty cool lady. Yeah, very smart and helpful. So we have, these are some of our programs. I won't read everything because I know we are short on time, but one of our goals this year is to increase sort of our access to community resources and bringing the resources in to our students. I think we need to do a better job of that. Speak for myself, but I think it's really important and that we make it really accessible and help students use their services. So one thing Luisa and I have thought about is creating like a resource, like a job center, resource center, learning center at our school, but we could also come out to the different sites where we help people with, job skills or interview. They get job skills in their classes, but helping them navigate going through the internet, finding jobs, applying for jobs, filling out a resume, and interviewing for jobs. So that's something that we're looking at doing next year. We really hope to do it. Luisa's been amazing and knows sort of what's going on in the community. She lives in this community, obviously, and know that there's a need for that because we've asked the students and they said, we're doing a survey right now, and they all said, even if it was like 4 to 6 during the week, they would try to be there because they really want help. So that's something we're going to do. We also partner with Bahia Vista. You probably all know that already on the board, but that's been great. We have 2 classes over there, and the school allows us to use their school. And we have, we recently got a Chromebook card over there. So the other goal we have is increasing technology and digital literacy skills for our students. So we have, like for example, we were able to get Cindy's class, all of the class loaners Chromebooks that they can take home. We asked them, would it help you if you brought home, if you had a computer at home, what is your access? And they all wanted it. So we were able to purchase Chromebooks for them. And now they all have Chromebooks at home so they can practice not only in the classroom, but at home. And a lot of them could do it on phones, but it's just better and they can access more with a Chromebook at home. So that's been really great. And so this is just some pictures here. But you know, we're doing a lot of staff training because a lot of our staff we haven't had access to a lot of online learning portals and programs for a while. So we're doing training for the staff so they know how to help students access the material. And these are some of our classrooms at Bahia Vista. Lisa's our photographer too. She has many roles. She has a lot of roles over there. This is our sort of our own accountability system we have at the Tam Adult School. We have the CASAS test that we give pre and post after about 60 hours. So we're going to be doing that test here in the next month. And we also have these L Civics units that the state and the work through CASAS puts out for us, and we adapt and create the curriculum around the CASAS. The L Civics test. So as you can see that all of Cindy's students have passed at least 2, in most cases 3 out of 3 of the L Civics exams. And the reason why the others haven't passed was they were absent or they just came in. So like I said, we have sort of a rolling admissions, but they perform really well. They do really well. Cindy's always really proud of them. It's cool to see. That's a quick picture of Cindy, but I don't have permission from all those students, so I wouldn't show that. But anyway, so that is our program for the most part. Like I said, we try to bring the program to the people in the community and not just have the one location in Larkspur. So that's something that we really hope we can continue. We may build even more next year. We don't have a lot of money, so we have to be careful, but it's been really nice to have Alberti Floral. Like it's a beautiful facility. First of all, I love coming over here. And the students really have a great culture in Cindy's classroom. And they're just so appreciative and such good people. We've been really lucky. So anyway, thank you so much for allowing us to come here. And if we have any questions, we can answer. Or these guys can answer too. Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to Cindy. When she says she makes community, she really has. We've got all her students have different interests, and she really brings a group. And I can walk down the hall and they're laughing and having fun. And I think we all learn a lot more when we're having fun doing it. And so she's loved by her students. You can tell when they walk in before her and start setting up the room. She does a great job. So thank you. Do we have any questions?
Yeah. So you talk about the medical program.
Yeah.
Did you coordinate with college and with the
Yeah.
Is that the same program?
So we are working with them. So the MAPE, we have an organization, it's like a consortium with all the other adult schools and College of Marin here in Marin. And so we work with them all the time. Just met with them today. We have a big group. And what we're trying to do is serve the need for our students if it's free and also work with them. And people can graduate from our program and get a certificate. Oh, I have to show you the handout in the and then they can go there and like this is the first step while they're learning English too. And then they can also go and graduate and be part of COM. And this is, like, for example, this is the thing from the healthcare aid. It's like a curriculum guide, a booklet that we made for all of our students that they can take with them on their job and then keep learning and go and get more education in their field. So it's kind of like a starting off point here at the Tam Adult School. And like you said, we have an ESL teacher, so it really helps with the language. Because sometimes that's really, the language of the medical world is tricky. I mean, it's so hard for all of us, right? So that's been a real struggle for our anyway. And so it's been nice to have an ESL teacher. That's the first step to go on.
So after the school, after the class, they can have a certificate.
Yeah, it's a certificate.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about 36 hours, so it's only like an introduction course. But it's really helpful. And then we have a healthcare pathways workshop where people can come and just learn about different pathways that they can then go and seek an area. And that's like more of like a workshop, and we also have a CPR class and that sort of thing. So it's been great. I know that the comm nursing program is very competitive. I have a friend whose daughter just got in and we were all celebrating because it's very competitive. It's an incredible program. But we want to help people just kind of get started.
And this like for nursing program.
Right. Yeah, it's a very rigorous program. It's very well respected. So.
And then you provide in language, bilingual language.
Yes, in our program.
Maybe Spanish or.
Mostly Spanish. Yeah. Portuguese. But yeah, we wish we had more to offer. But we just now, so we're doing a class on Zoom, and we have a translation. So now people can come in and we can translate it in any language for them, which is a new feature, which is a pretty great feature.
More language.
Sorry. Yeah, because that is something.
Do you provide any others program or only the system? Do you provide any
CTE programs? No, and we want to expand. These are our only career tech ed programs. We have GED and we have our diploma programs, our independent study, and our ESL classes, but we think we have a huge need in this community for more CTE programs. And I know they started some in San Rafael this past year. We have a few in our district, but not enough. So we are actually working with our district office and trying to help create more CTE programs for our students and for their students in the high schools. But that is something we just went to a conference about how to help start and build these programs. We would love to do it. I mean, it takes a lot of time and a lot of startup costs. Jessie is doing this, she's doing a lot right now. So it's a staffing issue. It is a problem, just like everybody said. But we're hoping for that in the future. It's a great question, actually. We're kind of excited about possibilities, but.
Any questions about the program here at the forum?
I have a question. I am the student from Tamanpais for 7 years. The first picture you show us is my partner. The English I have is from, I start here. All them are my partners. This picture is long time ago.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
so long.
Yeah. I studied Tamalpais adult school for 7 years. I start here in Pickleweed, and I moved to Adenai there. And my English I have is from this school, and I'm so happy. But my question is, how many levels do you have right now? Because I stopped because maybe it's the level is it's not like 50, 100, no.
No, it's like 4 levels. So like Cindy was saying, she has multi-level class, so she tries to be honest, because the students want to come back to her classroom.
Yes.
And so they come back, so she's probably got like 1 through 3, and we really serve like 4 levels.
Yeah,
5.
I would like to more level because I start with no more levels. I repeat the last level maybe 3 years. With Jerry, Susan, Michael, with all, I pass with all, but I would like to pass, but with more high level.
You
I
may
would
have
like
to go
to.
to college.
Yeah, not
Or you
have
could get the GED class.
Yeah, I try to. Yeah, I try to be GD, but only I am the best in the math, and I'm.
I
lost
know,
in
it's
the
hard,
other.
the English part
It's hard,
piece is
yeah,
very
it's hard for me, but maybe right now is my time for back to.
And
Thank you so much.
And that is what we try to transition people. We put a transition class. We have one that's sort of like a transition class over at RG that we're trying to help people then go to the next level, which would be the GED.
Okay.
But I can see what you mean. Like there may be a need for something, not just the GED, but just speaking the language, right? And that's really an interesting point. We could actually survey the students when we get the registration, and the ones that score high, see if there's enough to create a class. So I'm glad you brought that up, actually. Thank you.
And many people from, because I live here in our community, they want to learning English, but sometimes it's full, the class.
Yes. So.
You
we
can
have a waiting
open
list.
others.
We actually let people in as soon as we have, students who leave, we let people in. That's why I
Okay.
think it's like a rolling admissions, because we were saying, like, they only have like 2 months left, but we want to serve as many people as we can. So a lot of times the teachers will have new students in March, because we want to serve as many as we can. And we, you know, like I said, we started 2 more classes this year, but the problem is it costs, right? And we have a limited amount of money. And then also, it's hard to find teachers for night programs. That's mostly when people want to come, is at the night. And I have some teachers who are leaving because they, you know, they don't really want to work at the night anymore for family reasons and that sort of thing. But we're always trying to think of ways to expand and where to help people out. The online learning we thought was going to get more, you know, popular. More people would want that, but it just hasn't been the case. People really want to come in. So, well, from somewhere. Yeah.
Thank you so much, because
Thank
not
you.
only I learn English, I learn other things. I am lucky because the most teacher, they said we had to involve like a volunteer. Omar was my first teacher about computer. He was my first teacher. He invite me and Rosa too. We was in this class. And after, in your teachers invite to us how is too important the people involved to the community. This is why I am here.
Yeah, that's so
Because
cool.
he was
Thank
my
you.
first teacher, and the other teacher invite to us. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Thank you
More
so
and
much.
more. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
My Spanish was really bad. And I felt nothing. Every time stop and ask Omar, what does this word mean? Because I didn't know what it meant at the time when he was teaching. So I had to take computer classes twice because I wasn't understanding the language, because he was teaching in Spanish and then I was having trouble with Spanish.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, our students are so wonderful. I'm finding learning Spanish again, even though I went many years of school taking Spanish. You wouldn't know it, by the way I speak it. So I'm always talking to our students, and they're so patient with me and are so nice. But I have that feeling where I realize I'm a lot worse than they are, but they are so patient and kind with me. So it's kind of fun. We go to our Google Translate. But I know the feeling from a different perspective. So anyway, thank you so much.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Well, I hope that you recruit more teacher with the multiple language so that the
Yes.
other community can get in.
Yes.
Getting one is not only Spanish, because my community is
Yeah.
need.
Yeah.
Some people don't speak English well. If they want to attend some of the program like medical assistant, they might need the bilingual language.
But the ESL classes are open to all, like it's not just, I have had Ukrainian students and Chinese students, and so.
Yeah, it's open to all languages. It's just that a lot of us don't speak those languages.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Any
Of course,
questions?
we're open.
Any questions from the audience? All right, well, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on to item C, and this is Drawbridge Weekly Expressive Art Groups. Drawbridge has been offering the weekly expressive art groups at the Albert J. Borough Community Center since 2013. The city, through the Pickleweed Advisory Committee, has been fully co-sponsoring the rental of the room for the program since 2017. The activity fits well into the center, especially in the art room, and appears to have a core following of children that truly look forward to the program. Drawbridge offers a weekly expressive art group program for children in shelters and affordable housing facilities at the Albert J. Borough Community Center and across the Bay Area. The program provides children a safe, fun, supportive environment where youth ages 5 to 18 can use art to build community, process stress, and explore difficult emotions through creative expression. The term of the proposed art program is from September 9th, 2024 through August 25th, 2025. The applicant is requesting a full fee waiver valued at $1,408 for the use of the art room on Mondays from 3:30 to 5:30, excluding holidays. For the co-sponsorship guidelines and renewal application, a final report of the program's previous co-sponsored use is included with the application for the Pickleweed Advisory Committee to review. There's also a handout that was not sent out that will just pass this along that you can look at as a sample of their evaluations. And I'd like to introduce Tracy, who's back again this year to do her presentation on Drawbridge.
Thank you so much. For more than, as we've mentioned, for more than 35 years, Drawbridge has been providing free weekly express arts programs for children in shelters, affordable housing facilities, and community centers in 7 counties. But our roots are in San Rafael and Drawbridge was founded in 1989 by art therapists, you see here Gloria Sano, who developed the highly effective method of using the creative arts to help young people work through those complex emotions associated with family challenges and housing insecurity. Since those early days, Drawbridge has expanded 7 counties and has provided free arts programs to more than 40,000 children across the Bay Area. And last year, I'm delighted to share that we increased our reach by over 250%, serving 5,000 children last year in 2023. So our mission is simple. We believe that art has the power to change lives. And at Drawbridge, we provide children with the opportunity to tap into their creativity and to build self-confidence through expressive art. Our vision takes this idea a step further. We believe that all children should have access to the benefits of the expressive arts, that cost and transportation should never be a problem. Drawbridge connects children with creative expression, their communities, and a wider world of possibilities. And at the core of what we do are our free weekly art groups. We offer free quality art supplies, and Drawbridge's trained facilitators promote a safe and supportive environment for each child's self-expression and exploration of the creative process. As I said, our programs are always free. They are offered where children live in their communities, in emergency shelters, in affordable housing sites, and sites like the Borough Community Center here. So we remove those financial and transportation barriers. Drawbridge has partnered with Pickleweed since 2013, and at Borough we serve on average 50 unduplicated children per year who attend groups 450 or more times a year. Drawbridge's partnership with the Borough Community Center serves as a model for other cities and organizations. Many of our programs are offered in shelter and transitional housing settings behind closed doors where the public is not available, the programs are not available. So participation is limited to those people. The long-standing program public in the Borough Center to be one of our most valued programs, and we hold it up to the larger community as a model of excellence for Drawbridge. In addition to our long-standing art groups, we are expanding and exploring new ways to make our programs even more exciting and engaging for the children we serve. It was in fact at the Borough Center where we piloted our community artist program in 2021, where we paired local artists with the youth here to create traditional ofrendas in honor of Day of the Dead, and so they could participate in your amazing Day of the Dead celebration. And thanks to the success of that program, we applied for and received grants for the National Endowment for the Arts and the California Arts Council to expand the program. And we're now in our 2nd year of funding. We placed 5 community artists as artists in residence at different sites across our counties.
and they work to create site-specific works and programs for the children there. So it's been an amazing evolution, and this is where we had the ability to test that program. Another annual initiative offered by Drawbridge as part of our ongoing program is our Summer Art Adventures program that captures the fun of a summer camp to ensure children have access to the arts beyond the school year across all our sites. It's led by Drawbridge's talented facilitators and area artists, where children can explore themes of nature, art, and community in their neighborhoods and beyond. One of our favorite and most popular aspects of the program is initiatives where we have worked with our community partners to do supply distributions. In the face of the pandemic, Drawbridge made a commitment to providing ongoing art supplies to the children we serve despite distance. Wow. So as you can imagine, in the middle of the pandemic, we couldn't share supplies. We couldn't come together as groups. So we had to ship supplies to 1,000 children across 7 counties. And what was beautiful about that experience in the heart of the darkness of the pandemic was that then the children got to keep those supplies at their homes. So we made a commitment that we were going to always provide supplies in addition to the free supplies they have in group, that they would always have supplies wherever they were living. And so we began partnering with Lick Art Materials, and for the past 2 years, we've given away over 20,000 in free art supplies to our students at all our sites, and we do distributions at the beginning of the new year. And it's always something that children look forward to, and it's always something we look forward to. Lastly, our newest initiative that Drawbridge launched last year is our new children's exhibition, Drawn Together, celebrating Drawbridge youth artists. This exhibition of children's works celebrates the power of creativity to bring us all together. As part of the celebration, the works of Drawbridge youth artists are featured in pop-up exhibitions at each of their sites, including Boro. We offer opportunities for receptions and families with caregivers, and then we take their work on the road. A traveling exhibition of the children's works follows, hosted at local businesses, community organizations, museums, and galleries. Wow. Last year, over 1,000 Drawbridge families and the public were able to experience the exhibition. And this year, we're kicking off the traveling exhibition Sunday, May 19th, with a free family day and opening celebration featuring family art activities, picnic treats, and more for the entire community. We're so thankful to the Pickleweed Advisory Committee, the City of San Rafael, and the Albert J. Boro Center for your longstanding support. None of the work Drawbridge does would be possible without support of caring community members like you. So thank you for all you do for Drawbridge children and community.
Any committee members have any questions?
Do you provide any kind of the art or just painting or?
We do all visual art, and we've even expanded now into movement, music, spoken word poetry. Some of our community artists were spoken word artists. And so we started doing open mic for the kids during group, and they have their own microphone, and it's been amazing. So we try to, we are evolving from strictly just visual art into fully expressive arts, and so music, dance, all kinds of things. Wow. Traditionally here we do, the art program is very popular, so they do a lot of visual, of course.
And what the age for the kids is in the?
We do, we say 5 to 18, but if there are younger children or siblings that want to come with their brothers and sisters, we welcome them as well. But it's scaled, it's not a traditional art class in that their children are learning to and assigned, like they're not making a project. The whole process is for them to explore the creative process and what they're interested in expressing. So it's scalable. A 5-year-old can do it sitting next to an 18-year-old because you supply these amazing conversations and art supplies, and the children get to create. And they often play off each other as well. So by the end of the group, everyone's making art together.
You have a level 1, 2, 3.
We don't
level.
It's no levels. It's scalable to any age. So a preschooler can often do the activities that we do with some of the 17, 18-year-olds.
Any other questions?
How do you guys get this amount of kids? How do you advertise? How do you go about getting them to your program?
We started now working, we have 13 to 14 sites, about to go up to 20. We identify areas that are in need of services, and quite frankly, we have a waiting list of sites, but it really just depends on what we can afford to pay, because it's always free. There's no cost. We don't charge our sites. We don't charge our families. And so if we fundraise, if there's a site that's in need, we will do what it takes to raise the money to implement that program there. But it's at all types of different locations, and transitional housing, traditional shelters, emergency shelters, domestic violence sites, all kinds of work. All our teachers are trauma trained and trauma informed. And this year we have made a commitment to making sure that our teachers represent the communities they serve. And so we have 4 languages that are utilized at our groups. Not all of our facilitators are multilingual, but we always have translations on site whenever possible, and we try to make sure that the families are deeply involved in the programs as well.
Any other questions? Any questions from the audience?
Not a question, just a comment. I've known Drawbridge for many, many years. I remember that the first time that I knew about it, it was set by the Canal Alliance, behind the Canal Alliance. That was like more 20, 25 years ago. And it's a very nice setting. It's very welcoming. And I remember that when I was going there back then, I believe I was already married. I was 20 years old or something, but I think I took my child or something like that. But eventually I started working there, like maybe a year or so.
For Drawbridge?
Yeah. Wow. The place burned down, I don't know, it wasn't our, that place where the Drawbridge was at. It was. But I think that one of the things that I remember is just that there's different backgrounds, different cultures coming in, and everybody's respected, and nobody is looked down on.
Yeah.
So it's a very warm, welcoming, yeah. Thank you. It's a nice program.
Thank you. And we've tried to really continue to evolve that, and so it's even more powered by what the community needs, and we'll be working next year we're working with a national consultant to do a deep dive into like a program evaluation to measure truly, like, is the program doing what we say we're doing long term? Because often our children are so transitional that we don't, you're not going to see a kid, which is actually not the case here in Borough. We see entire families come through the program, but in an emergency shelter setting, you may not see that child after 30 days. And so we're trying to figure out ways that we can measure that to make sure that the techniques we're using are applicable in the emergency shelter setting as well as like a community setting. So thank you. What was your name?
Delia.
Delia, so nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Tracy, I just want to say your staff is incredible. I mean, led by Kathleen, but they're just always so calm. They never get ruffled, and they're very welcoming to the kids, and just really create a nice atmosphere. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now we'll go on to item D, it's Parent Service Project. Parent Service Project has utilized the Upper J Borough Community Center for their Learning Together program since 2007. The program has been co-sponsored by the Pickleweed Advisory Committee and has been popular in attendance over the years, thus reflecting community interest and need. The developmental playgroup for children 0 to 5 years old and their parents and caregivers teaches parenting skills and helps parents strengthen their relationship with their child. In addition to encouraging the healthy development of infants and young children, the program helps to build a support network in the community and provides connections to community resources, organizations, and programs. The term of the proposed preschool age program is from September 5th, 2024 through June 6th, 2025. Although listed on the co-sponsorship application, The applicant is aware that the multipurpose room is not available for co-sponsorship on Fridays and is prepared to pay for the room on that day through the city's traditional rental application process. Parent Service Project is therefore requesting a full fee waiver valued at $9,823 for use of the multipurpose room on Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., excluding holidays and closures. Being that Parent Service Project conducts the program 2 days at the center, the city realizes an estimate of $9,823 in revenue for the program rental of the multipurpose room to Parent Service Projects on Fridays. Per the co-sponsorship guidelines for renewal, a financial report of the program's previous co-sponsor or final report of the program's previous co-sponsored use is included with the application for the Pickleweed Advisory Committee's review. The applicant noted that due to the application timeline, specific 2023-2024 program data has not been compiled, but they anticipate 100% of their outcomes will be met. And I've got a handout that I'll pass out while Perla, you give your presentation, and thank you for coming today.
My name is Perla de los Santos, and I represent Timbalandra Fregoso in the Parent Service Project, and I am the coordinator for the playgroups in West Marine. And we have 4 playgroups in West Marine, 1 in Molina, 1 in Point Reyes, and 2 in San Jeronimo Valley. And I'm also running the playgroup for the 3 to 5 years old here in our office conference room. And we are helping children who were not able to go to TK or to preschools, kind of get ready for kindergarten and learn all the skills that they need to have. And of course, we have the 3 groups here in Pickleweed, and we really appreciate the partnership. And it really takes a whole village to raise a child. And besides that, we also work with parents in 5 protective factors. Resiliency, relationships, knowledge of child development, and also parenting, and also resources for in case of a need, we call them. So I would like to share some photos of the things that the families do, the children do in our program. I do not have any presentation, but it's just the photos. And if you have any more questions, please let me know and feel free to ask.
Good.
Are you able to share your screen?
Yes, sorry.
Okay. Great.
This is the playgroup in on Wednesday. We have children 3 to 5, but we have some parents who come with their young children as well. They learn to cut, fine motor skills like cutting, using tongs, and working on puzzles, cognitive shapes, lacing, and I love that the children are really to the babies. And here the children are working in cooperation. The parents are really great. They take really great responsibility of working on one-on-one with their children. And this was actually today, we read a book about butterflies and brought that. We also have fathers attending these programs, and it is really amazing to see how they are. And these are our future little artists. And some other working interacting with the child. And this is a celebration child had for his birthday, but we also serve a little snack for them as well. They practice gross motor skills, and this is balancing. This is in San Jeronimo Valley. This is Geronimo Valley, again. And I just want to say that all the programs are very different. They are very unique for their, communities where they are. And some of the children are from, Point Reyes and San Jeronimo. That's Carrie. Charles, Carrie, and Carrie. This is a project that Carrie came on the winter and did with the children. And we promote a lot of writing skills, pre-writing and pre-reading skills with young children. Sometimes parents think that they are not supposed to give them, markers and things like that. But the early that they start, the early that they start writing. We also promote health, safety, and teach them how to take care of their teeth. Like I say, parents participate really well. They read to their children. They are really active in the program. I used to be a preschool teacher and also work with infants before, but I really enjoy this program because I see how parents work with their children really well. I think they are negotiating something here. Another artist. The child, she put something on her nose like a paper and she looked like a bird and she was pretending flying. That's one, and I'm gonna switch to this one, which is from here, from this community room. They are celebrating Christmas and Santa Claus and Santa Claus and
We're not seeing it yet.
oh,
We're not seeing that on the screen.
oh, you're not seeing on the screen. I'm sorry. How come?
You might have to share the whole screen. It might be safe.
Did I do that?
If you stop sharing, you can select your new slideshow.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Can somebody help me? I'm not very tech.
While she's pulling that up, I just want to add that at the beginning of this school year, the staff person that has worked the program left Parent Service Project. And so there was a pause for several weeks, but then they've got some of the parents that were in the program to step up and lead the program, and it's continued on extremely successful from being a parent-led activity now.
Oh, yes, and the parents are actually running this program. It's kind of like a pilot program that we started, and they're going to have training during the summer, more training on child development and health and safety and social emotional. And so this is going to be kind of like the next step for probably most of the groups as well in West Marine. And it brings an opportunity for parents to be with their children and at the same time get a stipend, and put some food on the table as well. So that's pretty much, actually, I was not able to share more of those pictures with you. So, but if you have any questions.
Does anybody have any questions, committee?
It look like a preschool after school care. The parents work with the children. Look like. So, well, I just say it look like a preschool here, but I see some of the school after school, the parents like let the kid have activities, something like that, right?
Yes, I haven't had an opportunity to come here because I'm always like working in West Marine, but they do set up here as probably the same as I do, in different areas like house area or traumatic area, and some equipment for gross motor and fine motor and art and try to help the children develop in different areas.
And then they'll have several groups in the morning period while they're here. So one group will be here for X amount of time, then they'll leave and another group comes in. So they have kids coming through.
Here in Pickleweed, they have like about 30 children and yeah, they have 10 on each group, something like that. And in on Wednesday, the program that I run, there are like sometimes 10, 11, I think 11 is the average, but sometimes like today we got 14 children, you know, including a couple of siblings, younger siblings. And like I said, the programs are diverse, you know, different in everywhere according to the population.
Any questions? Any questions from the audience? Good. Perla, it's very nice to meet you and thanks for pinch hitting and coming in today. Appreciate it. We're going to move on to item E, and that's Vivillon, Zumba by Vivillon. Vivillon is interested in continuing to provide an experienced instructor to offer free weekly Zumba class for older adults at the Albert J. Borough Community Center. Additionally, there continues to be a strong interest in older adult programming in the Canal community. The term of the proposed older adult program is from September 1st, 2024 through August 31st, 2025. The applicant is requesting a full fee waiver valued at $2,063 for the use of the gymnasium on Thursdays during the school year from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and the multi-purpose room during the summer, excluding holidays. We've got Rebecca here, and would you mind coming up to the front? That way the microphone can pick up on you. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you for hosting this meeting, and to all the other presenters. It's been fun to learn about the different things that happen here. I'm gonna share my screen. I just have a very brief presentation. And so Vivillon, my name's Rebecca Wilson. I'm the program supervisor at Vivillon, and we are the largest nonprofit in Marin County serving older adults. And we applied for this fee waiver 2 years ago. So we've been offering the class, thanks to the partnership with you all, for the last 2 years. And we would love to continue offering it. And we began offering it based on a meeting that was had, I think, with you, Steve, and my colleague Stephanie, just about the need for classes for older adults in this area. And we worked with our instructor, Jimna, who's here in this photo, who was already teaching at Vivillon, to bring her here to be able to provide the class here as well. So this is a photo from January of this year of some of the folks that have been coming to take the class here at the Canal. They all love how big and spacious and air-conditioned the gym is, so they were commenting on that. Our outcome statement for the application, which hasn't changed much over the last couple of years, is just to provide a lower intensity workout opportunity, focusing on balance, range of motion, and coordination. Zumba does include all the elements of fitness, such as cardiovascular, muscular conditioning, flexibility, and balance. And so it's a really well-rounded workout for people that don't want something too intense, but still want to feel their heart rate get up, and also the teacher is trained to teach to older adults so that it's very accessible for them. And we have people of all different kind of mobility levels taking the class, and they can adapt to what makes sense for their body. We did survey our participants. That was one of the ways we measured if we were meeting our goals. And we surveyed approximately, the class is around 6 to 10 people per week. We would like to see that number increase over time, but the people coming the most we were able to survey. And these are some comments that they wrote in their surveys. So one person said, the class helps me improve most every day. I feel good after I attend Zumba. I'm so satisfied with the Zumba class. Jimna is a very good instructor. Someone else said, so grateful for this free class. We seniors need to keep moving. Another person, the instructor is very knowledgeable and experienced. And the last person, class and teacher are wonderful. All people surveyed did report being very satisfied with the class and very satisfied with the instructor. And they also said that it would be extremely likely for them to recommend the class to a friend.
And then just in closure, we would love the opportunity to continue offering this class to older adults at Albert J. Morrow Community Center. I feel strongly that it's making a positive impact on the folks that are coming based on their feedback and based on what I hear from Jimna. And the one thing that we do want to continue trying to improve is just getting the word out, getting more people to come. I will say that I think the partnership, aside from having a presence here, and people have learned about Vivillon's other services, and we've noticed them coming to our center more too. And we were able to start a Hispanic social group there now. And so a lot of people that I think found out about us through this class are now coming, and it's a nice way to kind of share about what we do and maybe other services we have that they could take advantage of. So that's been great as well, and we'd love to find additional ways to partner. So that's all.
Jimna is another one that's just, she walks in the front door and it's just positivity coming out of
I've
her.
never
Yeah.
seen her like frazzled or upset.
Yep.
So yeah, she's great. I think she's a huge reason why the class is so successful.
Great.
We're really lucky to work with her. Any questions?
Do we have any questions?
What kind of class that you provide in the program?
It's
What kind of?
Zumba dancing.
It's like, yeah, so
Exercise.
it's dancing, but it's based on the type of workout. It's definitely, you're still kind of toning your muscles and also getting the cardio at the same time. But it's, a lot of people think of it as a dance class.
I love it.
Yeah, you should take it.
Yeah, what age?
I mean,
Can't you
honestly,
already tell?
people ask that all the time. Vivillon doesn't have an age requirement, so anyone of any age can actually take the class. And we've seen people bring like their caregiver who's younger, or, you know, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be, but most folks are in their 70s and 80s. That's kind of our average age of people that come to Vivillon, but you're welcome to come if you're younger than that.
On the same level, right?
What was that?
On the same level, or you divide a level one?
No, there's all the classes that we offer, that gymnast classes are all the same level. But I have a colleague who has taken her class and it says, and she's like younger than me, and she's like, it's a hard workout. So I think that, yeah, I think it can be rigorous if you really put a lot of effort.
How can I register?
You
just
don't
come.
have to register, actually. You just come. We ask that people sign in because we do take attendance, but you don't have to register in advance. And it's free.
And you say what days is it?
It's here is Thursday, 10 a.m. in the gymnasium.
Oh, only on Thursday?
But we have it at Vivillon, which is in downtown Santa Fe, on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m.
Oh.
So it is offered, and that same thing, you can just come.
No weekend? No.
No, I know. Yeah, yeah.
I'm wondering if you know how, like, the attendance, the geographic area that they're coming from. Are they coming from the Canal and Spinnaker and the local neighborhood?
I think most of them are either Canal or Santa Fe. I could look into that though, because we have on most folks, we would like everyone to fill out our client application form. It gets a little more complicated when we're at other sites, but we do ask that information. But I don't think anyone's traveling super far to get.
It just seems, watching people come in, the Canal and Spinnaker, and it's actually, we get quite a few from Spinnaker too.
Yeah,
We know,
that's
which
great.
we don't for a lot of other
Yeah.
programs, but it seems to be a good mix.
But we do want that, the gym is massive, so it could accommodate a lot more people.
Well, I was
so-
going to add, I mean, I think you said that Pickleweed, there was some challenges with people finding parking, and so like people were interested in coming, but the parking was an issue, and so I was wondering if that might be an issue.
Yeah, that's
for
more
Zumba, but
afternoon and
during
evening
the day.
classes. Yeah,
so
10 o'clock
not-
usually is pretty good parking.
Okay,
Great,
okay.
great.
Cool, thank you all. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Wait, we did have one.
Yeah.
I do have a question. Many Hispanic families come in, many Latin American families come in.
To Vivillon or to the Zumba class?
To the Zumba
Here.
class, here.
Yes, yes, definitely. And the instructor speaks Spanish, so I think that most of her instruction isn't verbal, but she can communicate with them because she speaks English and Spanish, so that makes it hopefully more accessible too.
Is there a way that you promote or pass on the word to invite more of the culture within the canal?
We've done some flyer circulation. We have flyers here and then we've tried to pass them out at nearby areas. But that's another thing. We haven't seen the numbers grow a lot over the last couple of years. There's the people who discover it tend to come back. But I think that would be something I would love to like work with you all on like what are creative ways to maybe increase that.
And we rotate it through our electronic sign every once in a while.
And same with,
kind of pump it,
so we do notice, but like in my opinion, one of the coolest things that's come out of it is just like now seeing some folks from the canal coming over and coming for our Spanish social group and attending, since we have Zoom other days of the week, some people will come here and also to that one. So that seems like there's some consistency there.
I know that a lot of people, Hispanics, like, Zumba, but they work during the day.
Yes.
And that's the thing, So
Yes. Yeah, totally. Currently our business hours are 9 to 5. And so we've struggled with that, especially like when we've tried doing intergenerational programming, like nobody's available and we're open. And now we recently moved to a new facility actually. And there's discussion around like, can we be creative with our hours and maybe offer things in the evenings on the weekends? We haven't actually started doing that yet, but that's kind of something that's being considered.
Because people pay for it, on the weekends or in the evenings. I have a lot of friends who go.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of older adults that are working, granted, but the goal of this program is for the older adults that might be more retired.
Yeah, I
And
think
come in.
but that's like super important to keep in mind is that's not everybody. And so for those that are working, it's not, they don't get to take advantage of the services, and it would be great, even if we had like one weekly. Yeah.
And months ago, I think Jimna came in and did a presentation to our multicultural adult program on Wednesday. I know it was hard for her to get that day because she's teaching elsewhere, but maybe do that again.
Yes.
Try to.
Yes, that would be a great idea to like stir up the interest. What time is that on Wednesdays?
That's 10 to 1.
Okay, so maybe after she teaches at Vivalin, she can come by.
Yeah, connect.
I'll
No,
email. Okay, Steve. Okay. Thank
All right,
you all.
thank you, Rebecca, appreciate it.
Of course. To be here.
And Omar, if you don't mind coming up to this, our next item is item F, the Canal Alliance Access U Foundations, Canal FC. The past 2 years, Canal Alliance and Marin FC partnered to offer Canal FC program to Canal youth. The original intent of the program was to capture older youth who had aged or spilled out of our recreational Canal Mini Soccer League and provide them with a competitive program to continue to develop and possibly play high school or in competitive clubs. Despite last year's application stating the program's age group was 10 to 16-year-olds, Canal FC served children 6 to 14 years old in 2023. Staff received feedback from Marin FC League organizers last November saying the 2023 season had only moderate success, with the primary problem being adequately staffing the program on an administrative side. Ideally, the new partnership with Access U Foundation will provide the support needed. As the committee is aware, there are other long-time youth soccer programs that utilize the city's only soccer fields and have had their usage reduced in the past few years to accommodate the Canal FC program, whose target is specifically Canal youth. This year, however, Canal FC is only requesting use of one soccer field, thus allowing other programs to utilize the second field at the same time. Section 5 of the co-sponsorship application lists potential partners, but not the dollar or in-kind amount. Canal FC organizers are currently pursuing multiple funding opportunities. Canal Alliance is prepared to allocate staff time or financial resources to support the success of this initiative. The applicant is aware that currently the Pickleweed soccer fields are scheduled to be closed starting September 1st, 2024 due to the Pickleweed Park Enhancement Project's conversion of the fields to all-weather turf. Canal FC is therefore requesting the option to shift their use to June 17th through August 31st, 2024, with the option to extend to November 15th should the field project be delayed. The applicant is requesting a full fee waiver valued at $1,716 for use of one soccer field on Mondays and Wednesdays from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Sundays from 9 to noon, excluding holidays. The proposed activity helps to address the needs of many families in the community. And before we hand it over, I just want to say that I've got so much respect for Omar for putting this together. It's my belief, I might be wrong, but I think soccer was a huge part of his life, and he sees the value of that program for youth in the community. And we talked about it for years before he actually got off the ground, and you've been so dedicated sticking with it. So thank you, and thanks for being here this evening.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Steve. Good evening, everyone. And I agree, the whole night has been very educational to see how all these organizations are coming together to support the community. So thank you for your support to all of them. I'm a board member of Canal FC. Everyone else who was more involved in the program have been impacted by the spring break and kid plans and family plans. So I'm here representing the entire group. But as a board member, as a very fan of the sport, I have seen the transformation of the soccer and within the community. As you know, competitive soccer is available to the children of the canal, but not necessarily accessible due to costs, due to many other logistical issues. So being close to home and giving that opportunity for them to see, to play the sport, but also start looking at what is next for them, either through high school or through competitive clubs, and most importantly, to continue going to college. So the impact is big. We can see, the kids' smiles during practices and during games, and the parents' support those to both. Actually, if you just come on to the games, you're gonna see it's like celebration here every single weekend. So the transition to Access Youth Foundation, what they do is they help the Latina kids. They have been already playing soccer throughout high school, and they are ready to go to college. So Access Youth Foundation will make sure that those kids get full scholarships to continue their higher education, and most importantly, mentoring and supporting to connect them with professional teams. So actually, this is a huge move for Canal FC. You guys were key for us to just implement the pilot programs. Having the two first seasons were actually pilot because we didn't have particular funding. And I'm here not as a Canal Alliance. I'm here as a soccer fan and support of soccer and accessibility for youth. So it is not a Canal Alliance program. I just want to just clarify that. So we did it in a very entrepreneurial way, right? So your support was key on that. The support for Marine FC during the first two seasons was key for us to get it launched. And now we are in a place where we can start thinking bigger. What else can we do? And we are hoping to reach to the 100 kids. That's the number that we're looking for. Last season was 57 kids. 10 of them were girls. And I think that is the area that we want to continue growing, because we know the interest there, but for some reason, with our limited capacity in Wisconsin, so we have not seen that growing, right? Soccer is growing a lot for non-Latina players, soccer is huge. But for the Latino community, we still need to do some work on education. And that's what Canal Alliance come in. So now I'm gonna put my hat. I cannot create a soccer program on the Canal Alliance umbrella, but what I can do is mobilize the community engagement infrastructure that we have to make sure that we, including our door-to-door campaign, education around the soccer opportunity and how powerful it is for girls to play the sport. So we are committed to that. We are also submitting a grant to the Marine Community Foundation, new funding strategy they have, and we are very optimistic that we're going to get that support. Access Youth Foundation will match that with in-kind donations, coaching. And also these kids are having access to one of the best soccer trainers they can have in their lives. Edwin is a former professional soccer player. He played 2 World Cups. He was the captain in one of them for the national team for Ecuador. And the other coaches that we're bringing in, thanks to Access Youth Foundation, all of them play professional soccer in their home countries. So in Peru and Brazil, all of them Latinos. So we take it just to the next level, and we're very excited about it. And we also prepare for the closure of the field. We understand that, we are excited that, we are a big supporter of that project. So we are looking at contingency plans, and that contingency plan is really reaching out to high school that have access to turf fields to see if we can run some clinics, at least on the monthly or bi-weekly basis, some clinics to keep momentum going and be ready when the turf field is ready for us to go back to our full operation. So again, I'm gonna stop there. I know it has been a long night for all of you and for everyone else, and I wanna just stop to see if you have any questions.
Is that welcome every community or just the Latinos?
This is targeting the canal kids.
There are other communities in the canal though, too.
The other communities who we have.
You mean-
Like Lao, the other Philippine.
Yeah, if they are residents of the area,
Yeah.
they're welcome to come and play. Yeah. Is just the cultural strength of the club and the coaches are coming from the Latino community. But similar to other organizations, if kids from other groups are interested in the sport, they will be able to play. Steve mentioned how soccer was important for me, is because that's how I got integrated. I'm from Ecuador and I moved here, didn't speak English. And that was for me the way to build community and get connections, right? So.
And then just you see the high school children only, or?
Right now we're focusing on the 6 to 14. I mean, the need is so big and we can go through all ages. But right now that is the targeting group that we're planning to continue working on.
Any other questions for me?
I have a quick question. I was seeing that you guys are giving in charge of 125 per play. Is that cost not too high for the Latino?
So that was due to the partnership with Marine FC, so they have some costs they need to cover. And I believe in the applications, it was 125 that was submitted. I would like to just suggest a correction for that to go back to $95.
So 95?
95.
Okay.
We actually waive fees, over $1,500. We waive.
That's 10 students or so, right? That would be like.
Yes. So we try to make it accessible. So is a fee. So it's like 32 trainings, 16 games. And that was what the cost of the coaches from Canales, from Marine FC, because they were providing the coaches. That really helped us cover the gap that was in there. Right now, with Access Youth Foundation, we're gonna go to $95. And again, if players don't have the money, they will play. But we wanna say no to anyone. But it does help cover the operational cost of the program.
Any additional questions?
How are the days chosen? Like Sunday morning, I'm just wondering.
For training, so
Popular that.
finding coaches and finding referees is one. If you secure the field, which is one of the most complicated things, the next complicated thing is finding coaches and finding referees to support that. So what we are trying to do is actually each foundation have connections with Canfield FC. And the same coaches that are coaching Canfield FC will be coaching with Canal FC. So what we're trying to offer the coaches a full week of work. So they don't need to go other places, but just stay with the consortium, right, with a group. And then the same thing with referees. We have games on Saturdays, and then we'll have games on Sundays. And allow them to have more stability in the income, but also allow us to secure the people that we need to run the program. So we're trying just to coordinate with other groups to make sure that we get the talent that we need to run the program.
So there's no longer any association with Marin FC?
They're gonna continue contributing financial contributions directly to Canal FC. And also, we're still be considering a feeder to Marine FC under the same criteria. So we already have like 3 kids of Canal FC playing at Marine FC.
Who were part of that 57? So about 3 of the 57?
Yes.
Okay.
And those are the most talented kids on that club. And we can, you see the game and see them, it's like, there's so much talent in this area.
Yes.
That we want to make sure that we continue providing that support. And with Access U Foundation now, we potentially can see maybe the next player in the national team, either for US or Mexico, whoever is the smartest to put them first, is going to come from this neighborhood. So that's where we're aiming from.
Right?
A BFC player,
Uh,
women's player,
yeah.
maybe.
I went down and saw the opening
We did
game.
too.
Did for you.
Yes.
That was pretty fun. Let's see.
I saw it.
Any other questions for Omar?
Very, my daughter, she was here because she. Because the girls like playing football.
Absolutely.
I feel like football girls, and I like.
So and it's not that we have not opened the doors for that. We have done the same campaign of outreach across the families. And through that outreach effort, we have received more boys than girls. So that is, we are trying to rethink. We need to do a broader reach, a broader campaign. And that's what the partnership with Canal Alliance play a role, because Canal Alliance has the infrastructure to go door to door, educating the residents, and families, right? So we remain optimistic that that will support and increase the number.
It's because mostly Filipinos, they have something against that girls should not play football. It's mostly for boys, but I agree that girls should.
Yeah. My daughter was an amazing player, and it was transformative for her life. So I'm a big supporter of that. But again, it requires some education. And I think that's what was missing. It's not just about passing flyers and being there and enrolling. It requires some education. The community engagement team from Canal Alliance will be able to.
It'd be great if the fields are closed to maybe see if there's an opportunity to connect with the San Rafael youth soccer programs to get keep the kids playing, since they play at other fields primarily in San Rafael for the fall season.
Yeah, I have reached out to them, and it has changed completely. And I don't want to bore you with the whole soccer politics. They have actually continued to making soccer less accessible for particularly low-income kids. And there's not much flexibility on how they organize now. The games is more based on school versus city. But we just continue gently pushing those other groups to connect that, because the reason why San Rafael, it used to be San Rafael High School, they were now allowing Canal kids to form the teams here, because they used to be the most dominating teams in the entire league. So they're trying to say we need to make it more balanced. And as a result of that, they said, well, now we're going to place Canal kids and Terra Linda teams. So now practices are way far from here. So, and then as a result of that, when you see the numbers from the San Rafael League, it went up. And when you see the Latino community, there is very small.
Yeah, it's a different league entirely.
It's a different league entirely. So there is reasons why behind that, right? So that's what Canal FC is respond to that. Let's bring the sport close to home. But not just bring the sport, but also let's bring this competitive element and a clear path for kids that have the talent to continue through college and professional, which no club right now can offer that.
Delia, a question?
Yeah, how much did you say you charged to register?
It was 125, I believe, last Tuesday. I think I was not sorry.
It was 125 listed.
125. So we reducing the people, reducing to 95.
Okay, so possibly for a lot of people, that would be a decent amount to pay, right? And what does that cover? What is that?
So that helps to cover the gap, to cover the cost of coaches, which that's the second biggest item on the main cost actually, coaches have.
So then on top of that, they have to buy their own uniforms and cleats.
Well, the cleats they had to buy, the uniforms come as part of it.
Okay. So where my brain is going is, do you have a grant in place to offer scholarships for families that can show that they are of a much lesser income? Because in this community, we have lots of different levels of income, right? It's a community of low income as a total, but working with this community for many years, as we have, we realize that there's families that are in desperate need, and might need to pay a little bit less than that.
Yeah. So if the family will come and say, I cannot pay that, we just waive the fee. They don't need to prove anything.
Okay.
So if the parents just come and say, I want my kid to play, but I don't have money, do it.
And how many of these families do you think that you can, not that I'm gonna send them all to you, but
To
but
participate?
that you can waive the fee?
Waive the fee, so we don't put it.
They waived the fee for 12 last year.
Maybe those are the ones
12
who
of
requested.
57.
Okay, so the ones who requested. Okay. So we didn't say no to anyone, so those are the ones who requested and we just ran.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Omar, thanks for coming in this evening.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Now we'll go on to G, Troop 2000, Scouts BSA. Delia, you're welcome to come
All right,
sit up here.
so,
Could I just give a little background first?
Yes.
While you're coming, but come on up and sit up here while you're,
I want to show a picture as well, because I was trying, I jumped in, but I couldn't share, so
oh, okay.
bear with me.
Sure. The Troop 2000 is proudly called the Albert J. Borough Community Center and Pickleweed Park home since forming in the year 2000. The city, through the Pickleweed Advisory Committee, has been fully co-sponsoring the rental of the room for the program since the troop's formation. The activity fits in the center's schedule, and the scouts are always agreeable to change rooms or move outside if there's a pressing need to use the multipurpose room for a community meeting or event. Troop 2000 regularly gives back to the center and the Canal community by volunteering and performing special projects in support of an individual member's Eagle Scout project. In past years, the Scouts have repaired the center's back deck, made improvements and repairs to the Pickleweed playground, repaired the park signboards, and performed projects in the Canal Community Garden. The center also calls on Troop 2000 to support with community events, such as assisting with the Dia de los Muertos procession by guiding participants safely through the streets of the Canal neighborhood. Sadly, longtime founder, Scoutmaster William Colnado has recently retired from leading the troop. However, parents have taken over the leadership with support from longtime Troop 2000 committee chairperson Oscar Guardado, so that the troop continues to serve Canal teens and youth. In terms of the proposed Scout program, the co-sponsorship is from September 9th, 2024 through August 25th, 2025. The applicant is requesting a full fee waiver valued at $4,136 for use of the multipurpose room on Mondays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., excluding holidays and closures. Per the co-sponsorship guidelines for renewal applications, a final report of the program's previous co-sponsored use is included with the application for the Pickleweed Advisory Committee to review. I turn it over.
First of all, thank you very much for having us here, and thank you very much for all the past years that we've been able to run the Boy Scouts with everybody's support here. My name is Delia, and I'm here representing the Boy Scouts.
And good evening, everyone. My name is Norma Ramos, and I'm part of the committee.
Well, the Scouts is a BSA international organization with a program based in the scouting promise and law, sharing the common goals of adventure, learning personal challenges and responsibilities. The program is carried out with adult volunteer leadership, and it provides a wide range of activities, including planning outings and activities, making new friends from different economic and social backgrounds, prepare the youth with active involvement within the community and the nation. So the picture that we showed you is a group of Boy Scouts. It's one of the highest ranking, not the highest ranking, but a higher rank within the leadership. They're called the Order of the Arrow. And once they are of certain age and their peers vote them in, they can become their representative for Order of the Arrow. And once here, they learn a lot of leadership skills as to like how to run meetings, how to represent in the community and in different places and times. So the Boy Scouts is a community support system put in place for many reasons. For the families living in the canal, this is a place to keep our children out of trouble, so they learn good, healthy habits that support them in the community where they live. So with that said, we do serve families from all areas of pretty much Marin County, all different backgrounds, cultures. Mostly the families that are mostly enrolled are families from the canal. Sometimes we'll get Corte Madera, sometimes we'll get downtown San Rafael, but there are other troops that take that other scouts can go to that are closer to their homes if needed. Some of the scouts have never gone camping, hiking, or have been shown that they are capable of being independable, cooking for themselves. You know, these are some of the self-growth activities that we promote within the scouting community. We have served children of different backgrounds and cultures, and most, if not all, are of low income level. Being able to have this location reserved allows us to hold the scouting meetings without having to worry about being kicked out or being in an unsafe place. Throughout the years, these scouts become better people. They learn how to cook, help the community by fixing, cleaning, painting, or building what is needed. We have partnered with different agencies in our community. One is the City of San Rafael through the community parks and Day of the Dead events. We partner with Community Action Marin. We partner with different schools. We through the schools, it's a lot of like supporting them with their events, setting up, breaking down. We do a lot of. We are one of the few organizations that can open a meeting, open a ceremony with the flag ceremony. And we also work with the county health department through their fairs, and also we have gone out to do activities as far as like painting different areas of the schools to make it a better place. We focus on growth and moral strength, participation in citizenship, and development in the physical, mental, and emotional fitness areas. We have had enrolled probably a good 20 at different times throughout the years. Right now, we have a group of about 10. And we're constantly reaching out to new schools and finding ways to promote it within the community so that they can continue to. And we enroll throughout the whole year. We don't charge them for, I mean, I think the only charge that they pay is a yearly enrollment, which is like $90. And after that, we charge them. Sometimes we have a fee for, like, if we go camping, they might pay $25. However, if families can afford it, we also have a fund that will cover that. Yeah, and that includes their stay, their food, trainings. And Norma would like to share a little bit as well.
Yes, so like Delia said, we have a great program here in the canal. I've been a member for 4 years. I volunteer every Monday from 7 to 9, and even a little bit further, 9:15, 9:20, to make sure the parents come in, pick them up, or, you know, just to be around the area. I participate with my boyfriend as well, and he is the assistant scoutmaster. And me and him are on the same page where we love community service, we love volunteering. So for me, this is really special because I moved in from LA to here to this community back in 2019, and I saw the need. I saw lots of children everywhere. I saw that, you know, and I also witnessed the violence here in the canal. So I said, you know, I'm on board with you. Let's make a difference. I supported 100%. And here we are here today because we would like the support and to be able to have something that is very stable for them. Even I know it sounds cliche that, you know, there's programs out there, but this really makes a difference. And the reason why is because these kids, I can't speak for them, but I can see, you know, just through the streets here in the canal that they're playing outside and they can be in a program where they can just be learning something different, you know, something that's going to make them inspired to be a better person. So for us being here today is very meaningful to a bottom of my heart. It's really meaningful. So if we can get your support, that would be awesome. Thank you for letting me share this.
Thank you. We have any questions? No? Well, I just want to commend both of you for stepping up, and I especially know how busy you are with everything you're juggling. And with Willie going, you know, he was loved by everybody and he did a lot of work, but you guys picked up the football and you're running with it. So thank you.
You know what? It's amazing. The Willie Coronado is an amazing person. He's still around. He still comes back. He was just out here during the session.
Yeah.
He was just out there working with one of the scouts, you know. So he hasn't left completely. He still comes back and supports the parents. However, the parents that we have are freaking amazing. They have come up and they don't see a negative side to this. You know, they don't see a no. We have the police association that backs us up, and they keep pushing forward. You know, they know what they want. They know what's best for their children and the community. So there's like no reason why they don't have a reason why this shouldn't happen. You know, and they keep pulling more children in. So these guys are amazing.
Good. You know, Willie was talking, as Louise especially knows, because she's been on the committee for a long time, for years, saying, I'm leaving, and he didn't. And because he was afraid nobody was going to step up. And now he finally had to leave, unfortunately, and everybody stepped up. So that's great. So thank you.
You bet.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in. All right, thanks for waiting. Feel free to move up to the table if you'd like. The Canal Family Arts. The Canal Family Arts started at the Albert J. Borrow Community Center by Voices del Canal and Canal Alliance in April of 2022 and has been actively supported by the Canal Arts, the group who has proposed the mural on the front of the Albert J. Borrow Community Center. Upon starting, the group respectfully offered their program on the fourth Saturday of each month so as not to conflict with the long-running free Family Canal Arts program that the Canal Youth and Family Council conducts on the second Saturday of the month, or the free art program offered by Drawbridge every Monday afternoon. The Canal Arts has been renting the art room for their monthly activity at the discounted nonprofit rate and is now requesting a full co-sponsorship for the popular program. The term of the proposed art program is from June 22nd, 2024 through May 24th, 2025. The applicant is requesting a full fee waiver valued at $648 for use of the art room on the fourth Saturday of each month, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., excluding holidays and closures. Vladimir?
Hello, everyone. I want to be quick. I don't have anything to share with you. This is Irene, and we are in behalf of Rich. He is, I believe, the founder of the Canal Art. And basically what we do, and I am responsible for the teaching the class, as you said, the last Saturday of every month. And we are getting more and more kids, and we are working with Voces de Canal together in a couple hours. And basically what we do, it's 1 hour, it's painting, that I am in charge of it. And then the other hour is just crafts. And what I'm trying to do right now with Rich and people is to get more kids into the classroom, teach them, and choose, because they have amazing work of art every time. So I would love to choose like 2 or 3 the best work every month. And then to the end of the year, present like a big art show or you know. But basically what we want to do is just to continue this program that we have like 30 to 40 kids every time that we do that we share the class, and it's amazing. So we want to just let you know that. And as I said, I don't have anything to share right now because it was last minute for me. Reaches to my vacation. Thank you. Something that you want to say?
Mi nombre es Irene de León y yo trabajo con este grupo de arte desde que se ha iniciado. Casi tenemos casi 2 años estando trayendo arte a la comunidad. Y a mi experiencia, los niños aprenden mucho, comparten, socializan y aparte a ellos les encanta el arte.
So she's been working since Canal Art opens, and she really she's working basically because she loves that the kids, they socialize, they get together, they get friends together. Basically, she loves art.
Yo he sido encargada de hacer las manualidades y a los niños les encanta realizar estas actividades porque ellos también desarrollan sus habilidades y estamos contentos de que estemos usando el salón y queremos que se nos otorgue más tiempo el salón para que los niños puedan seguir viniendo. Ellos están deseosos cada mes esperando que la actividad venga.
I am not the best translating, okay? So,
but thank you for doing that.
So basically, she is in charge of arts and crafts. And what she's saying is that kids all the time, they are just waiting for the next month just to get together and do the work. So she's asking to please give us the chance to continue working with this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions? Over here.
Do you have a specific, sorry?
Go ahead.
No, no. Do you have a specific age so that they can participate or?
Oh, no, any age, and we have kids from even a year to 6, 7 years old, and yeah, any kid can come over at any time, at any age, yeah.
Y es para todo el público, todos pueden venir los mismos cada mes o pueden venir otros.
Yeah, it's open to the public, and basically we don't charge any. We provide with everything, and that's just for, you know, we are asking just for a place. That's it.
Louise, did you have a question?
No.
We've got 2 questions in the back. They want to stay late tonight.
I'll repeat it in Spanish as well, but how do you promote what you do, the event? How do you promote it? ¿Cómo lo promueves? Para que toda la comunidad y otras comunidades sepan sobre este proyecto.
You know, that's a good point. I just started with Rich, with Canal Art, like probably 4 or 5 months ago. And we are trying to, we promote it, I believe, just basically by through emails and by, with Voces de Canal, they have a bigger audience. So that's the way we are promoting now. But we are trying to get out the different ways that we are getting more people. But right now, I think that's a good point. We are just a little tight on that. Yeah.
Hacemos flyers cada mes y tenemos grupos de chat donde las familias, cada vez que viene alguien nuevo, anotamos un número y vamos creando más en el grupo. También dejamos flyers en el grupo y flyers para
What's the capacity of students or families that you're able to take in?
That's another good question.
¿Cuál es la cantidad de estudiantes o familias que pueden aceptar en un solo momento?
That's a good question because the place just is for, I believe, 49.
That would be pushing it max. But
Yes,
yeah.
so it's, we sometimes we have more than that, we have to say no because, you know, the regulations. But we wish we could have a bigger room, so I'm sure it will be better. But right now, it's 30 to 40 kids. Thank you.
My other question is, you said at the end of the year you have a gallery?
We are trying to get a gallery.
Oh, you haven't done it yet?
No, not yet.
Oh,
That's
okay.
my next step that I'm going to speak, and we are speaking with Rich, the founder of the Canal Arts, that we are going to choose every month 2 or 3 best works, and then to the end of the year, we're going to do something probably big.
Okay, I understand. And, sorry.
That's it.
One thing we might want to just, I'm just throwing it out there. If capacity is an issue, especially during summertime, we could possibly do something out in the picnic area. And every once in a while, that's rented for a private event or a community event or something like that. But there are those tables out there. We could accommodate almost 80 people out there. Of course, you have wind, you know, I mean, you've got outside considerations, so it might not be ideal. But maybe during the summer, if you have one special event, we could coordinate and maybe go out there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Gracias. Gracias.
Delia, I'm gonna see you tomorrow night, right?
You know what?
You're not gonna be there, huh?
No, I've taken on another job,
Okay.
so, but I'm looking for a replacement, and I think I have. And it's on Zoom, I will be there, but I am looking for, another person to take my place. Another guy, another person.
We'll
from
miss you,
campus.
but we'll see you in the carpet set.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Louise, we're still going.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Okay, we're gonna go to item 6. Does any of the committee members have any reports?
I would just like to quickly say, I continue to be frustrated by the city of San Rafael's long timeline for anything to improve, whether it's related to parking or the garbage changes or things like that. They're talking about 5 years down the line. They're not talking about differences. They're talking about garbage cans that have been ordered but still are not here, and they've taken garbage cans away in the meantime. They're talking about implementing a permit program to trial in Spinnaker, but not addressing lane striping or T's and L's in the canal actual neighborhood where the cars are coming from. And it continues to be extremely frustrating to me.
Anybody else have?
Yeah, I have a lot of trust and I'm concerned about the trust everywhere. And it's very, very offensive when I walk around the neighborhood. It's not very clean and, you know, it's hopefully the city will consider some of the plan for the methods to solve broken like that.
I mean, we have it out here and I'm out there in the mornings picking up broken glass and things like that. And it goes in waves and it's spring and summer and it's all over. And I take a walk on the paths and I see it too, you know, and I understand your frustration. I don't have any, I can't answer that.
No.
But I think a lot of it is, we're also ambassadors too. And a lot of it's us doing it. And it's hard to put ourselves in that awkward situation, saying, hey, please pick up, you know, and that kind of stuff. But if we can be good role models and tell those that we feel comfortable talking to. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right.
Recycling.
Yeah. And it doesn't happen fast enough, absolutely.
Yeah.
But Corey got this the last Saturday of every month, the big, and that has helped a lot of the beds and all that dressers we used to see out there. Yeah. We don't see it as much. So, I mean, but it is taking too long, but things are slowly happening, but not to the degree we want. And I'm with you.
Some Saturday, a month, and then eventually stop because of the weather.
Yeah, we used to go around on Saturdays.
You did, yeah.
And we picked up a lot of beer bottles.
Mhm.
It was beer cans.
Yeah.
That was it.
Thank you for
Very
doing that.
good, find.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping they have Alcoholics Anonymous groups in the canal area. I'm gonna try to find out if there are.
Yeah.
Lastly, when you see litter in the canal, you can get your cell phone, take a picture of it, email that picture to the Public Works Department in the city, and that will notify them to pick it up. That's what
Yeah, through the website, the See Click Fix. Is that how you do it? Yeah.
See Click Fix. Yeah, it's great.
Thank you.
Any other community updates, other meetings you've been to?
Well, I am in the multicultural coordinate with Canal Alliance, and we are to try to invite to the community, have the call for ¿cómo se llama? Cuando te avisan que va a venir un terremoto. Alert. We try to everybody have an alert because you never know when the water come down or different bad thing coming.
Is that Alert Marin? Is that?
Yeah, Alert Marin.
Alert
Yeah.
Marin.
Yeah,
So
we
you're
try to door by door.
encouraging
and,
people to sign up for that.
And different places invited to the people to put in them form.
Yes.
It's very important right now.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
I have one more thing. If possible, would it be possible to, I know there's a new city library petition out, or not petition, but
Ballot measure.
ballot measure. I'd love to hear what the new plans are for Pickleweed included in that, the Pickleweed branch, if anything, and if not, just to know that.
Okay, I do know that there was an RFP out for a designer to come, and then they would start presenting. So there aren't any concrete things, but the RFP is out, and it might have even ended. I haven't heard yet, but we're right there. Where that consultant would come in and make recommendations and do community outreach and all that.
Differently and separately from what was all done before 2020. The outreach.
For the pickle, this is for the pickle.
Yeah, there were plans the last time, right?
Yeah, I think they're just
refreshing.
You're right.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Andre, from the Park and Rec Commission, you have any updates?
No updates right now, just, nothing new and hot.
And I didn't mean to have you way down there. I didn't know that these folks weren't coming. So. You're one of us. Good. All right, well, I'm gonna move on to my report, and I know you guys want to get out of here. The Pickleweed Park Enhancement Project. We're still working with Public Works and providing input to the consultant on that. And Department of Public Works is also working with BCDC. They've got the jurisdiction along the shoreline through all the bay. And there's some little delay. We're still optimistic everything will go through, but that hasn't been done yet. As you remember, we do have to work around the clapper rail breeding season. We did recently find out just several weeks ago that the Marin Audubon's Tusconia Marsh project, which is directly adjacent to ours, they're part of the sea level rise. They'll be raising that and doing a lot of restorative work to the marsh out there. Their project is being delayed another year at least. And so that's really unfortunate to us because our project included ADA access up to the new level of that. So we're trying to figure out how we're going to do that, and we're going to hopefully soon meet with them to kind of come up with an alternative on how we can do that, because, and we're also some concerned about if they're doing a levee, some of the drainage down on our new project, after we complete the field and all. So we're working through that. We've got a good team doing that, and we still hope to go out to bid later this spring and start construction on September 1st. That's still our goal of this year. And then where the basketball court's going to go and the extended parking lot, that would be the staging area for the construction while they're working on the field. And then because that's also close to the bay, we have to be mindful of our time frame for that. So then next year in 2025, they would start the basketball court and the parking lot extension most likely. Now, in between that time, there's no reason why we couldn't then put in the restroom and the gazebo and all the other things on this side of the building. But the kickoff will be the field as we're looking at the project right now. Our custodian, I told you last meeting that our custodian had left us in October. We're finally able to recruit. The application deadline was on Monday, the 1st of April. We had 53 people apply. Our first round of interviews is going to be next Wednesday, April 10th, and the second interview on the 12th. So we're excited. We've got some good candidates, and we're hoping to get a custodian on here pretty soon. It's much needed. We're also waiting for a string of dry weather to do the replacement for the art and teen room windows that need to be done before that mural project happens. But we just need 3 good weeks or so of dry weather before they can pop those windows out and replace them. The good news is that Canal Arts did receive all the approvals they need for their proposal, and that will be going on the City Council's consent agenda on April 15th. And so then hopefully the mural can start the painting in the summertime, which will be kind of great with the camps going on and people kind of see it happening. So we're excited that that's finally moving forward a little bit. Our winter and spring programs are in full swing, and we're taking registrations for our summer camps and programs. This summer, the center will directly be offering Canal Karate, Canal Mini Soccer League. We have multiple weeks of the dance, music, theater, arts, and fitness summer camps. Our Junior Giants baseball and softball program, led by our own program coordinator, Stephen Rogers, will again be happening this year. The Multicultural Older Adult Program and Congregate Meal will continue. National Academy of Athletics will have a basketball camp. They will also be putting on an all sports camp with us. And then Stephen Rogers will also be doing his popular San Rafael Baseball Academy as a camp this year. So we'll have a week-long camp. We've got a new Yoga for Adult program going on. And then there's all the partner programs that you're aware of through our co-sponsorships and groups that rent our facilities. Our indoor drop-in unsupervised pickleball program was scheduled to conclude at the end of February, but since the rains continued, we extended that program through March, so that ended last Friday. And then the Dia de los Muertos Organizing Committee began meeting last month, and the plan to plan this year's event, which will be bigger and better than past years. The car procession is scheduled downtown on October 19th, and the main event here at the center will be on Saturday, November 2nd. Anybody have any questions regarding any of these?
I wanted to know what was custodian.
The custodian, the janitor for here.
Oh, for here.
For this center, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, and we have no members of the public. So I would like to adjourn this meeting at 9:54. Wow, that's a long meeting. Becky, thanks for sticking with us too. And our next meeting will be June 15th, 2024, here in the meeting room. So thank you.
Okay, the next meeting, not